Hello, Elder Scrolls fans. In this video I will show you how to install Tamriel Rebuild, the huge landmass mod for Morrowind on your Android smartphone. We will start from a fresh, clean install of Morrowind. I installed my game on the internal storage. You should have your Morrowind folder with your data files and your Morrowind INI. These are the two important files. The rest of the files are just the stuff that was on my computer. I just copied the whole thing. To start off, we have to download the mods. We'll go onto the Nexus. There is Tamriel Rebuild. We've got to download a file from there. Okay, there seems to be a patch. I didn't know that. So we will download the Tamriel Rebuild and after that the patch. Let's just do that real quick. Download. That can take a while, so get yourself a coffee or something. After it's finished, we have to download this hotfix. Okay. Download that again. That should be quick. Now another file we need is the Tamriel Data. Also link in the description for that. You can choose between a HD version, that will probably look a lot better, or vanilla if you don't have a very powerful Android phone. We will take the HD version, download that. That took about 10 minutes to finish. Now we have the 3 files we downloaded. Now we have to extract the files. In our download folder there should be 3 downloads. Here we have them. I'm going to my win.rar. I have the files in download and I'll extract them one by one. First, Tamriel Data. Extract. That may take a while. Now we do that with Tamriel Rebuild. And with the hotfix. So we're fine. Now we have the 3 files unpacked. We will move them where our game is. And I created another folder for my mods. This folder is just used for the mods. I'll put everything in here. I like to keep my mods organized, so what we'll do, I create a folder just for Tamriel Rebuild only and call it TR. Create. Move everything in there. And I'll rename these folders to something shorter, because we don't need all these characters in here, and it's simpler to keep track. Your data without spaces would be the best. Change Tamriel Rebuild. And the hotfix, yeah, why not? We do it with everything. We'll call it just that. So we know it's the hotfix for this version. Now, within our mod folder, there is Tamriel Rebuild. And these are the 3 folders we downloaded. So what we need to do is take the TR data, the data files. You should always respect the folder layout. We need these 3 and we'll move it into our game folder, data files, where the original Morrowind, Bloodmoon and Tribunal.bsa and ESM are in. Move them in there. So we go back to our mods, TR data. Within the data files, they are these extra folders. In other mods, there could be textures and meshes and videos and whatnot. We will take them and put them just in here so that everything is more clear, because this folder acts as our data files folder. We could change the name or use this one, but I like to keep it clean and simpler. This file would be used if you would play on your PC. I think it's a patch or something like that. We'll delete this empty data files folder. Now we go to our Tamriel Rebuild. There we have different options to choose from. We'll take the core, take that and move it in here in the base Tamriel Rebuild folder. The core is now empty. We'll take everything and move it in here, just to have them all in one place. So these are empty now, can delete them. In this case, we have just the docs files, which would be in the data files folder. The Morrowind data files. Here would be, if you would use other mods perhaps, or you installed it mods the old way, you could put them in here, but I don't want to do that. I'll keep the organization within my mod folder. So in Tamriel Rebuild, I keep the docs, take the ESM files and put them in my original data files, as I did with the BSAs from the Tamriel data. We go back, and in the hotfix There's like nothing. Move just the ESP. Data files. Move them here. So let's check one more time. Mod data, Tamriel Rebuild. We've got our 3 folders for Tamriel Rebuild. This one is basically empty, but I'll keep it just as a reminder. If I download another version or something like that, I know which I used last time. Now we will edit the Morrowind INI. This is a step which does not have to be done, but depending on the version of Open Morrowind you're using, I would highly recommend you do. I'll use a text editor for that and get my Morrowind INI from my original installation. And there we have the Morrowind INI. You go to the very bottom of this file. There you'll find your game file 1, 2, or 0, 1 and 2, Morrowind, Bloodmoon and Tribunal. And you'll have to put these 2 lines right under it, TR data and PT data, with game file 3 and game file 4. You can edit these 2 lines in here and save that. Now we can go out of it. The last thing we have to do is to edit the Open Morrowind config file. You can find it in your folder with the Open Morrowind app. I have 2 versions, but for this video I'll use the nightly build I use here. You'll find it in your config file, and there is an Open Morrowind config. So what we'll have to do is open our text editor, open, go to my Open Morrowind nightly config and the config file, Open Morrowind config. So what you would have to do is to edit this file with a couple of lines I will share in the description, and I will put this file for download, so you don't have to do all the work yourself. The lines are as follows. You would have to put in here these fallback archives if they're not in there already. In some builds of Open Morrowind, the Morrowind.bsa Tribunal and Bloodmoon are already in there, but you would have to put these TR data and PT data, which in some versions require you to put in the Morrowind INI. That's what we did before that. So you write these down, and then you would have to tell the app where it can find other resources which your mod files like ESM and ESP files use. Where are they supposed to look for other textures, meshes, videos, sounds, or docs, or whatever? This path here just works on my phone or on other Samsung Galaxy, perhaps S8, S9, S10 or something. That should work. But how do you know how this path works? That's a little bit tricky. If you go into your apps or into your internal storage, and I go to my mod data and I'm looking up here, it's not written exactly as I have it written here, with storage emulated and so on. So what we have to do is start new. Every line for a path to one of your mod folders starts with data equals quote /. So now you've got to tell the app where to find the folder. I would recommend you try it out. In my case, this text editor works great. I close it again, because if I'm looking, here it's written, you can see here how that works. So if I go back and go to my test3 mod data folder, you can see here it's storage emulated 0, and then my folder starts, which is here. So in my case, it's storage emulated 0, and then that's the folder. So in that case, I'll use my nightly config, open Morrowind config, and it's data, then storage emulated 0, and then my folder. So I'll copy it because I'm lazy. To get to the folder, I need that part, copy. Come on. Paste. That's the starting path for my phone. It's storage emulated 0, and then there is the 001 test3 mw /mod data, and then there are my folders. These are old ones I don't really use. So let's just do that. Is 001. You can also, in my case, I'll just rename it, copy the name, put it in here. /. Oops. It is /. Then it's mod data. Rename it. Copy. Paste. /. Mod data. tr 1 tr 01 tr. Paste. Another /. And then what we'll need is Tamriel Data, which is the base of all things. Copy that. Paste. And in there, we don't need anything, because this thing works as our data files folder for the app. If you were to have these files here within a data files folder in here, which was the case in the beginning, you would put after that another / data files, but we didn't. And I'll try to keep it as short as possible, this path. So it's Tamriel Data HD, Tamriel Data HD. This is our data files for this mod. So we're finished. And we'll put an end quote to that. We'll copy the whole thing. Copy. Paste it down here. Delete just the last folder, which was Tamriel Data HD. Then we take Tamriel Rebuild. There are just docs in there, but whatever, we'll use them. Don't know if they do anything, but it can't harm us. Paste. I deleted my T. End quote. One thing you should know, one tip, is if you use mods and install a lot of them, you can close mods here if textures don't work or you're trying out different texture packages. You could put every texture pack in a single folder like we did here. Put the path in here, and if one doesn't really work or you want to try another run, another out or whatever, you could just put a hashtag before line, and then this line is not read by the app. So I just close these three so they're not read. So the same as you can write that's Tamriel Rebuild, just so I know. I could put here next is make a hashtag and then textures, and I would have here the path to other mods with textures perhaps. So, but the important thing is the fallback archives and the paths to the two folders we will use from our Tamriel Rebuild mod. The hotfix is empty, just a text file for explanations, what it does probably. So we don't need, the game doesn't need that. What we do now is start the game. So I'm using this version of Open Morrowind, which is basically new. Here you have your mods, which were in your data files folder. First of all, I forgot, you should tell the app where your game is, Morrowind, and you'll stop when you see the data files, select. Then you'll find the mods. The resources, there are the .bsa files. You will click these. You could switch these around. So you change the load order. So usually the hotfix should be loaded last to repair everything. The other ones here are probably not very important, so let it be. My water is fine. Command and arguments are not to be used because we put the ESM files in the original data files folder. Enable these keys and we'll start. So we're in the game. I'll turn down the music a bit. Okay, we're fine. We'll save game.
Let's hear it.
So let's go to Necrom on the mainland of Tamriel Rebuild. Turn collision off. We're in the wall. Here we are. Bit laggy, come on. There we are. I can't see any glitches. Everything seems to work. No exclamation marks. City of Light.
Defile our tools, and you'll be forever cursed.
That works fine. So we're out of here. So now you know how to install mods and especially Tamriel Rebuild on your smartphone. Once again, the great benefit is that usually when you install your mods the old-fashioned way and you dump everything into your data files folder, you could possibly run into huge problems. As an example, you have a couple of mods installed, then you try another one out, install it, it overrides a lot of files in here, a lot of textures, meshes, sounds, and so on. And when you start the game, you see that the new mod doesn't really work, or it breaks other mods, and now you've got the problem you would have to pick your older mods, install them above everything you did after that in the right kind of way, one after the other, and it could really be a pain in the butt to get that right. So you would probably need to have a lot of backups at different stages, or you would have to copy your whole installation before you try one other mod. That's not really a good way to do that. And in the Morrowind way, the open Morrowind way, you can just make different folders which you organize, different folders for different mods. Every mod has its own folder. When one mod doesn't work, you switch it off, you try another one. For example, the Welcome to the Arena mod doesn't work on Android. I heard it should work now on the PC with the new Open Morrowind release, but I didn't try it. So I put it in here, I made new folders, switched it on, tried it out. It didn't work, so I deleted the lines and deleted the folder where I put the mod in, and everything was exactly how it was before. I didn't have to install everything again or copy everything again. It was just deleting one folder, deleting one line, or put a hashtag in front of the line, and everything was back to normal. So, have fun playing Morrowind.